playing anything. I went to play Stellaris last night because there was a major update to it, and it broke all the mods. And I was like, you know what? I haven't played this game vanilla in like a year and a half. Like, let's see the state of the vanilla game. And I looked up and it was like 12:41 at night, and I'm like, that's a horrible idea to start playing this game at like almost 1 in the morning. So I ducked out of that, and that's been about it really. I've played like maybe a couple matches of Mario Kart World Tour on my phone before I delete it. And speaking of deleting things, I canceled my World of Warcraft account. When they asked me why, I just said because China.
Good job, man. I'm proud of you.
Good job, man.
And then I deleted all, I think I had like Diablo 3 and something else was still installed on my PC. So I deleted those and I uninstalled Battle.net.
Yeah. How about Overwatch?
Overwatch, I never really got into that game.
You bet your sweet ass we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, I never really got into that. I got it as part of the Humble Bundle, so basically free. And I played it for about 20 minutes, and I let my kids try to play it for about 20 minutes, and all of us were just like, I think we played this before. This is like Team Fortress 2 kind of. And we all kind of like ducked out of it after that. Yeah.
All right.
So I've X'd Blizzard.net.
We will definitely be talking more about this later on.
Yes.
So.
Definitely.
So we got the guest in right here to my left.
You want to introduce yourself, who you are, and what you've been doing?
Okay, sure. My name is NW Serpent. I am the streamer for PNW FGC, hashtag PNW FGC. Also a competitor. I do like Eunice. I'm a BlazBlue player. I play like a bunch of kind of games. Right now, we just recently have a tournament. We'll talk about that later. That one last recap what happened. It was been a tiring Saturday. I've been doing a little streaming. Took up about 2 hours and a half to get that done. It was a nice lot of spacing area. It was a very nice place, seeing a lot of players, good decent amount. Came back home very very tired, very exhausted.
Yeah, a lot of us didn't get back till like midnight or later.
A lot of us. We just went to eat and we came back at all the way to
like we finished the event.
We got together. We went to. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that a little.
But where can people contact you, like social media wise?
Social media wise, I have a Twitter, NW Serpent. I also have a Facebook, also NW Serpent. Then also I have a Twitch, also called Black Serpent 89. You can see me struggling or having success. I'm mostly playing BlazBlue and net play. You can see me struggling or have a good time or talk to other The Fight Night fellas in Discord. Shouts to them. Shouts to X1 Star. Shouts to like everyone else on the Discord. Love you very much.
Serpent is a very good BB tag, or a BB tag, but BlazBlue Central Fiction player. So you should definitely check him out. He's been on a couple streams and he gets really good results.
Yeah, I know.
I usually see you in like top 24s, top 16s.
Yeah, top 24, top 16. Last one was Siotaku. Shouts to Alex Jabali. You're an awesome dude. Thank you for this wonderful tournament. You're the best tournament organizer. I got I got 17th place. I lost to beautiful dudes Aurelius, and God forsake that matchup. And I had pretty good results. It did better than Anime Ascension. Not this year, but last year. It was actually quite a good success. I did a lot of good decision making, playing a little patient, kind of a little antsy on reversals, but it still turned out really well. Also, I did make top 8 on Texas Showdown. It was like the only time this is the only time I got arc rep points, and I was happy about that. The tournament results was pretty good. Met a lot of strong killers out there. Pretty stacked too. It was actually really nice.
Hot damn.
Nice.
Play an Evo, and you guys saw what happened during casuals.
At least I did.
We'll talk about that pretty soon. And went to Evo, met a lot of strong players as always, and also got out too. Either I got like one or two buys at least on my pool, but I also played a lot of strong Japanese players out there. Very hungry, very strong too. Also got some good shouts to a lot of Japanese players as well too, which really makes me happy. Really makes me showing these results that I'm improving. I'm enjoying my character.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, super solid. There's also the fifth musketeer in the room that I forgot to introduce. Hailing from the Midwest. Hailing from the Midwest. No clown makeup. No chef knife in hand.
No Fanta.
No Fanta.
Sorry, not Fanta. Fago.
He was about to throw something at you. We got super producer and also sometimes podcast host Bobby Still.
What up, Bobby?
One of the producers here at the Soundcasting Network, and just to do a name drop. Just to do a name drop on it, Soundcasting Network has more than this podcast. They still got, what do they got? Is How to Better, sorry. It keeps moving, But Grill How Long Steak Mister, sure. Can You Dig It podcast, the Glow Up, and then of course our homies over at
How do you better drink?
Reese, the Reese Show.
Reese Show?
The Reese Show. Lots of good podcasts. Check that out. That's just soundcastingnetwork.com.
Yep.
So scope it. We got to get into topics though, because we started a little late, and we are sort of streaming on one of the most beautiful products ever created, the Apple iPhone.
What model?
Man, what model?
Oh, I got the 10.
Sorry.
Sorry, I don't have 4 lenses on it. I just have the 2.
Sorry, disappoint. I'm not an Apple guy.
No one hears the Apple
Nobody
guy.
hears Apple.
I am the just the
I am
producers.
the
in me.
Android man.
No, I am the only one on an iPhone. I get trashed on all the time.
I'm on a Pixel 2 over here.
You are the 1%.
I'm the 1%er. I make the least on the podcast, I think.
Okay.
Maybe if I work more than 25 hours a week, I'd make some pretty good money.
Yeah.
I did the math. I looked at what I made last year. I'm like, that's 30 hours a week. That's pretty good. If add 25% to that, I'm looking all right. But I don't because I like drinking and playing video games.
Looks like we got a lot of topics today.
Yeah.
We got a lot of topics.
So starting off,
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this.
yeah, I'm gonna send this over to Russ.
Yeah, we're gonna keep these kind of light and breezy, but
Yeah.
there is a lot to talk about.
yeah.
These first 5 are gonna be quick.
Yeah. This one, it just kind of jumped out. I saw this, but then I saw Jim Sterling do a video on it, and I was like, okay, I have to talk about this. Konami, for those of you that grew up at any sort of time of video games, maybe not so much in the last 5 or 6 years, because that's when they've been kind of falling off the map. But any other time before that in video game history, Konami's been around. You might know them from Contra, Castlevania, Metal Gear, the old school Ninja Turtles games, all that shit. Well, they kind of faded and folded and kind of went away, but not really though, because now they're focusing on their main thing, which is arcade things, but not your arcade machine.
Yeah, but
thing.
who gives a fuck about that these days?
Yeah,
About
mean,
arcade
like,
machines?
Other than
back in the-
Konami?
Yeah, but
This one?
but along that same line, that also
Bamani
covers,
soundtracks.
that also
Yeah.
covers pachinko, and then also covers
Word.
slot machines.
Oh,
Word.
you're talking about
Wait.
game cabinets,
Tell
like
me
an arcade.
this. Why is this package machine working? Why is this working so much?
Pachinko machines?
Yeah.
Yeah, for them, it's like they're rolling in money right now.
Yeah.
Why do our normal slot machines work?
Yeah.
Gambling.
You know?
It's like it doesn't really matter for if they're gonna make it like regular video games. Just they have these.
In the
machines.
end, people like gambling, and that's how.
Yep.
That's the way the news goes.
Yep, but they don't have to deal with the headache of software development. They can just make a machine that just drops a ball, and then that's it. And then you just slap Metal Gear on it, and there you go. So that's kind of what they're doing here. So the revered legendary series Silent Hill is back, you guys. There's a new. Silent
It's
Hill.
back!
It's back.
Dot.
Yeah.
In spirit, in a slot
It's
machine.
back as a slot machine.
Oh my god.
That counts though.
Yes, there you go. Thumbs down.
We got a thumbs
so-
up from
so-
the super producer.
Since you guys can't see at home, we have a board that we write topics on so we can make sure we keep on track. And the first thing I read as the topic is Silent Hill is back, and I was really excited.
Yeah.
And then I saw the ... as a slot machine game, and I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Yes.
What is life now?
Yeah,
It's like they destroyed the greatest.
First of all,
games.
PT was like one of the best demos ever fucking created. That scared the living shit out of me. And then somebody actually data mined it, and not data mined it, but they fucked around with the modding. And what the guy just found out 3 weeks ago is that if you mod it and you can make the camera change to look behind you all the time, that lady that follows you throughout the house is literally just behind you the entire game, but you can't see her. So all those noises you hear in your headphones, they actually modded her or they put her in the game to be directly behind you. But every time you turn around, she follows your avatar.
Yeah.
So somebody made it so you can see clearly behind you, and she's right there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty silly.
Yeah, first time experience right there. I thought I was playing under Outlast, but it was PT Silent Hill, and I know I was in for a scare, and I was just going through this whole building, this bathroom, these images on the wall. I think there was there was blood in it or something.
There's a baby in it.
Yeah, there was a baby,
There
and I was
a baby
freaking
there?
out. It was frightening. I think
disgusting.
between Outlast and PT, I think PT scared me the most than Outlast did. It was just
the environment and how
Yeah.
PT made you feel. That was
the suspense.
That was the great part of
Just
PT.
gets you.
Yeah. So let's just wait for that'll be the ultimate slap in the face if they release a PT slot machine.
No,
There we
absolutely
go.
not. I would boycott. I would boycott
no.
Konami too, bro.
But
Cancel.
The moral of the story is fuck Konami, and then we'll go on
For
to the
real.
next topic.
Yeah.
Oh, fork knife.
So Fortnite
Fork knife.
officially sucks
Ended.
now. Yeah, it officially sucks now. Because now there's a black hole where the game used to be.
Temporarily.
So, I have a personal story with this. Yesterday, my son was like, "Hey, Dad, there's something wrong with my Fortnite account. There's something wrong with my..." And I'm like, "You mean the Epic Store? Because it's the same login." And he was like, "I was trying to log in to Fortnite because I haven't played it in a while. And I was trying to log into it, and it wouldn't let me sign in. And it was saying, like, my password was invalid." And I'm like, "It shouldn't do that because your Epic account password is the same as your Fortnite account password." And he was like, so that was like yesterday. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, something happened. And then today, I came in and my coworkers were like, "Hey, did you see what happened to Fortnite?" And I'm like, "What the hell?" That's like the second person that's been talking to me about it. So I actually went and looked. So apparently, while people were playing the game, this event happened on the map. And it's kind of been going over the last couple seasons where they kind of been like destroying the map, like kind of breaking it up with like anti-gravity things. There's been like floating islands and there's been like voids and whatnot in it. So apparently this event actually happened in real time this last season that just ended. People were actually in the game, logged in playing, and then the game like crashed and people couldn't get back in. People that were already signed out couldn't even sign back into their accounts.
I didn't know if you saw like the final parts of that like Fortnite level. It showed like the everything turning black in a black hole, and then all of a sudden the game just shuts off.
Yep.
I think that's a very clever marketing tactic.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, so and if you go to their social media, if you look on their Twitter or their Facebook or like anything that they've ever posted anything on, their Instagram, it's all been deleted.
Mm-hmm.
So all their stuff's all gone and there's just a picture of a black hole there. So that's just kind of the status of it now. Yeah, like really clever, but they can afford to do it because they literally have that fucking fuck you money.
Yeah, because they're announcing something tomorrow.
So they're like, we're so baller, we can just turn this shit off for like a couple days and still I'll make all you guys.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So yeah.
So because
it's ridiculous.
they're basically saying
that.
that I think people are speculating they're announcing another season.
Yeah.
Season 11?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
I have a feeling when they come back now, it's going to be a new map, and there's going to be different maps.
And to be fair, like as much as I shit on that game, I think they're doing a really good job innovating and keeping the game fresh.
Because normally a game like that by now, it would have started to fall out of
Yeah, like
favor a
PUBG
little bit.
and
Yeah, they're in that.
Yeah,
H1.
even Apex Legends kind of like
Yeah,
well, it went from
They-
being
they-
like this
they
to
really
just
took over and then it kind of slowed down and just like
because like they boasted that they had the most signups ever for like any battle arena game,
So this
and
game's
then
never
that's the
really
last I
been
heard
out,
about
like,
its achievements.
staying right at the tip top. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. Not really a fan of the game, but that is like some pretty cool like viral. What do they call it? Like on Cloverfield, they have like the augmented.
Augmented reality,
Yeah, but what do they
Augmented
call-
reality.
No,
and-
what do they call it? The AMR.
ASMR.
No.
No.
Like all the websites that they have that go along with the movies, and you can go to the websites and like investigate.
Oh,
the
yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but it's like when they
It has a
add,
name,
like,
but I don't know.
when they
that.
add like layers in real life to a fictional thing. That's pretty.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't
Yeah.
know the name of it like officially.
Whatever it's called out there, Cloverfield does it. Leave it in the comments
What?
wherever you listen to us.
What is this about Sony?
Oh, yeah.
Tony?
Sony releases the PS5, or they release images and specs and everything on the PS5.
Did they actually
Yeah.
though, or is this like a
No,
fan made?
No, they just
No,
released, like,
they
the-
just made that announcement. Really.
Yeah, they kind of like officially released like their not the specific release date, but they did say it's coming out holiday 2020.
The controller
Yeah,
details.
controller details.
Why is it always Eurogamer that leaks all this stuff?
Yeah, I know, man.
Eurogamer.net is always like getting blasted. It's like, well, because we're getting close to that part. This podcast, Serp, gets kind of bumped a little bit before the holidays.
Yeah.
Because we're real
Yeah.
good at Black Friday and everything. So that's when we get a lot of viewers, listeners in. And anytime we have hot news, we're like, Eurogamer.net.
Yeah.
Spoiled it for everybody.
Yeah, they're up there.
Anyway,
They're
yeah,
up there.
PS5, they did this like broad specs, the controller details,
But do
the
they have
possible
pictures?
games.
Pictures.
No
They're,
pictures.
they're just words, really.
Man.
They're just,
We're
like,
not
nothing.
gonna see like really what it looks like till it launch. Until they.
So what are you guys projecting it to be released though?
It's gonna be like,
Probably maybe after
November.
Scarlet or something.
November next year.
November next year? Yeah, because that's usually about a good time to release it.
Yeah, about on that time too.
Yeah, October, November next
Maybe
year.
after
This
Thanksgiving?
time next year. Yeah.
To be honest, they're probably in production making the hardware right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as in like making it ready for selling.
The leaked photo that's going around though looks like this weird.
That
Yeah.
absolutely
That-
cannot be
That's
like.
a dev kit. That's not what
It's
it
like
looks
an
at all.
aircraft from Star Trek or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, that's not what it is. It looks like the ship from Prometheus.
It just looks so
Yes.
stupid.
It does.
It's
Like,
like
why?
you could put a line where like that gaping hole is, and you can like have just the letter A.
That's a
Like,
dev kit. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
I can use that as a hat, you know?
But meanwhile, while all this information was leaking and the whole internet was like bzz, 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 bzz about it, they also, executives from the North American branch of Sony Interactive Entertainment actually went out over there to the European branch, which has been around forever. Went over there and actually laid some people off because they're
What?
going to be focusing and narrowing things down. The North American branch is going to be more in charge of it. Traditionally, ever since PlayStation first came out, each of the individual branches, you had like your Asian branch, which was like the home base, and you had North America, you had South America, and you had Europe, and all your other.
but they're laying off Europe but not South America. I feel like
Well, it's all going to be consolidated under. Well, Europe was the second biggest one, so that's where if you're going to start cutting someplace, you're going to cut from like the largest one. But they always traditionally like kind of did their own thing, like over for the PlayStation over in Europe, they pushed games like Drive Club and Medieval, which didn't really get pushed over here as much. We were pushing like Gran Turismo and things like that over here. So they've always kind of done their own thing, but moving forward, I think they want to streamline their marketing and kind of push the same games everywhere. So I think that's kind of what they did. The cuts that they made was to things like marketing and production and things of that nature. So more jobs that are like redundant if you have two large organizations that basically do the same thing and you want to consolidate it. So those will be the kind of the first people to go, the marketing and stuff like that.
oh, okay.
So that happened while they were doing all these announcements. And while that was happening, Microsoft offered positions to anybody who lost their job over there and is willing to relocate to
Yo.
Seattle.
clever pickup, picking up the even though like.
Pick up the slack.
Even though we give Microsoft a ton of shit because they don't have exclusives, they don't really do much for their systems nowadays. I still got to give them props for, helping people get jobs if they lose their jobs.
I'm
so.
curious to see how that's going to turn out with them buying all those first-party studios.
I think
lately.
like how you've seen the trends of the console wars where it's like Sony won the PS2 wars or the era of the PS2, Xbox 360 won that era,
Yeah.
PS4 won this era. Yeah. I can only imagine that Microsoft. We make fun of them for being dumb all the time, but they can't be stupid, right?
Well,
Yeah. They made questionable decisions.
Like pretty much like their biggest gaffe the entire time the Xbox has been around was that launch of the Xbox One. Like pretty much other than that, they've pretty much been like firing on all cylinders. Think about like in 1999 before there was an Xbox, and then fast forward to like 2004. That was a huge jump. Like they pretty much became like a household name and became a standard within like a couple of years of coming out of nowhere. They never had a system before. So to me, really, it was the launch of the Xbox One, which was like their first big, major, huge hiccup. And they've made up for it since then, but it's kind of too late this generation because you're right. They lost a lot of their first party people.
Oh, and remember, this is right when our podcast started, but
Yeah.
you remember when we watched the E3 announcements and the difference between the Microsoft and Sony ones?
Yeah.
We came in here, we're like, Microsoft's dead.
Yeah,
What
you're
were they thinking?
You're right. Like that
It
right
was
around the time
it
of
was
the podcast.
so bad, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is your new entertainment console, movies,
And that was one
music."
guy. That was
60
really
frames
one
per
guy.
second.
Yeah.
Entertainment system.
And then
Pretty much it.
Sony was just like, "Here are a bunch of games. Here are a bunch of cool exclusive indie games.
Yeah, we're gonna do this
We're gonna
in-
help you game better."
We're gonna do
And-
this like we've always done it. Like why try to reinvent the wheel with the TV thing? I don't know.
And of course,
Yeah.
Xbox got shot in the foot because TVs are like packaged with the stuff that they were offering with the Xbox. Be like, man, all the stuff you're offering is like in my LG TV.
Yeah.
Xbox Smart Glass.
Smack that. anyway, I will probably buy the PS5, but I never buy the first batch. I'll buy it a year after launch.
This
Yeah.
is a little update I seen today. They've been talking about how backwards compatibility is definitely going to be a thing on these next ones. Well, there was a news article today about there was an interview that they did with a spokesperson from Sony, saying how potentially the backwards compatibility is going to be limited when it first releases. And they might do like an update thing, like how they do with the Microsoft backwards compatibility now. So the way that it was kind of sounding at first was when you get your PS5, all you're going to have to do is just plop in your original PS4 disc and it's just going to play it. But there might be like a list.
So, as someone that used to work in the industry, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. For some of those backwards compatibilities, some of them would just read the disc that you have.
Are you talking about how it works on the Xbox now?
No, how it works on like anything that's backwards compatible. Doesn't it just read the thing and then stream it, or lets you download that game? It's not actually reading the disc, is it?
That's on the Xbox. And
Yeah.
as part of that program, it downloads the bits that you need to run the emulator because it's running it off of emulation.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So
if you put
It's
a
not
disc in-
actually reading the disc
It reads the disc,
for data,
yeah. It
but
reads
it's
the
not
disc after
playing
it's-
off the disc.
I'm not sure how it works. I'm
Okay.
not sure if it like installs it locally or if there's a copy of the game locally that it just installs.
Well, because now that there's all those things that you could just play games via stream,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this feeling that like they're
This
they're
next
like, oh, you have
generation-
that disc? Now we allow you to stream this game. You're not playing it off a disc.
Yeah, but the next version of eventually, yes, it will come to that. But these next consoles coming up, this will be the first time we're going to be moving from one generation to another that has virtually the same hardware. So you're moving from x86 to x86. It's just going to be newer, faster versions, but of that same hardware.
Yeah,
So-
x86.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So like native, it's x86. It's like your
Just roll with it.
It's like your 64-bit processor that's in everybody's computer. Your Intel's, your AMD processors. Just like,
Even Macs,
huh?
even my Mac.
It might. How old's your Mac?
I don't know. It's a couple years old.
So it's trash.
It might. Does it have an AMD CPU in it?
No, it's an Intel.
Okay, yeah, x86
Yeah.
then.
Big question. Will the console actually work compared to Xbox One's release on E3?
Yeah, I mean it should because they got kind of this time to like narrow it down and like to figure out how to. Because basically these consoles we have now, they basically are locked down PCs that run on their own little closed operating system. Which before they were like sort of that, but they were like custom hardware. You can just like pull apart an Xbox 360 and put Windows on it. It wasn't really a Windows, but now with the PlayStation or a new Xbox, it pretty much is things you'd find off the shelf, but just like shrinking down and put down on its own little custom board. But
Yeah.
it's basically an off-the-shelf PC. So this will be the first time we're moving from that to pretty much the same thing, just newer. So backwards compatibility could, in theory, just work natively, and you wouldn't need streaming, you wouldn't need an emulator. Or anything
Yeah,
like
we
that.
don't need like all those extra stuff
Yeah,
for capture and stuff.
It'd be the same as if you bought a PC that had a really powerful CPU and you had a pretty good graphics card and you were getting by playing it and you played it for a couple of years, and then down the road you bought a really powerful graphics card and you put it in there.
Yeah.
There's no need to like reinstall your games or to get it. It should just work and just work better. So it's more like that now on console. So however they end up doing it, that's going to be interesting to find out. That's one of the things I'm interested in.
Kind of sell my components then.
Yeah.
All right.
So
You know what? We're gonna jump into that juicy topic right now.
we are.
Oh,
yeah, man.
I was always-
I'm ready.
I was always more of a Tigger person, by the way.
I like Piglet.
You like Piglet? What about you, Goon?
I like Eeyore.
All right, Serpent.
Eeyore too.
Eeyore, emo kids till you
They're
die.
like the most realist character.
Yeah,
The realest
He's
emo
real.
kids.
the realest character.
Because he was like, life fucking sucks, bro.
Life
Yeah.
fucking sucks,
And then
but
like
he's-
me as an adult now, I'm like, you so right.
Yo,
yeah, you're right, but you're just chilling. Let the
who
days
does he
go
listen
by.
to though? Is he gonna be a Sunny Day Real Estate Eeyore?
No,
or
he's
is he,
dashboard
like,
professional.
He's
Absolutely.
dashboard.
Absolutely dashboard professional.
If you can't see what we're alluding to, maniacs, we are talking about Winnie the Pooh, otherwise known as China's.
Premier for life. He just made
Yeah.
himself. He was a democratically.
The thing is, like,
Yeah.
I have qualms with this, and it's coming from a more racial standpoint. But you know, as we go into it more, I want to let the save rings kind of give you guys the rundown and a
Oh, wait, we
breakdown
didn't
of
even
the
say-
situation.
Yeah, we didn't even say the headline. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're talking about Blizzard, y'all.
Yeah.
We're talking about Activision Blizzard, specifically Hearthstone.
Yeah, we spoke on the week before last. I wasn't here.
It didn't happen yet.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
You guys talking about it last week at all?
No,
No, because it didn't happen yet.
it happened in the middle of last week.
The middle of last week. So it was like
last week
Wednesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
like the day after our podcast. So this is
Wow, this
us.
is the first time we're bringing this up
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
We've been
Blitz-
post-
Looks like it.
we've been
Mr.
posting
Blitzchung.
we've been posting some shade on our Facebook,
Wow.
Yeah, I've been researching this a few.
but
All
okay.
right. Well, this is a whole lot. If you guys want to like just jump in and help me at any time. If
All right.
If we want to just all ramble through this together.
No.
Yeah,
Let's start
well,
with Goon,
let's-
and then Goon's gonna throw it over to Serpent,
Okay.
and I'll have my very few words.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, I assume all of the maniacs listening understand and probably know a little bit about what we're talking about, what we're alluding to. Long story short, Blitzchung is a Hong Kong player for Hearthstone, and he made some very political statements about the nature of Hong Kong and what's currently going on with the protests.
And this was during a live stream after a tournament that
This
he
was
just won.
Yep, he just won. He did this during a live stream tournament.
It was technically a hype stream,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but he basically he said his piece about supporting the protests in Hong Kong. Blizzard immediately took action and dropped his championship winnings, banned him for a year, and just dropped him from any future Hearthstone circuits. And I believe his team dropped him too, or something like that.
They
he
dropped.
lost all
They
his
dropped.
sponsors.
Yeah, he
They
lost
all-
everything.
Everything, man. In one split second.
And so, because of that, people have been really up in arms about Blizzard canceling Blizzard. People made these really crazy jumps where they would cancel their WoW accounts or delete their BattleNet accounts as a whole.
Well, here's
Yeah.
there was more to that though. Like the things like it was the kind of things that came out after that. How they zapped the two streamers who were on there.
No, yeah, the hype streamers.
Yeah, the two like the streamers, the commentators.
Yeah,
out
well,
there.
didn't one of the casters just quit because he didn't?
That was a
Yeah.
different person.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they
That's
just
the
really just fire them. Though it was not by choice, but just like Blizzard just immediately fire them.
So
I mean,
that's-
they're like not really involved in it. They just like literally just hide their faces
So
and let them talk.
no, the thing is, apparently they knew that Blitzchung
Yeah.
was going to say it, and they did nothing to prevent it.
Yeah, and he came on wearing a mask, which was also a, kind of a hot button topic because a couple of days prior to that, they had banned people using masks in the streets as part of the protest because there's facial recognition software and cameras everywhere.
And
so
then,
people
if you guys have been paying
faces.
attention to the protests, they've been knocking down those
Yeah, they have.
facial recognition cameras, and that's
Yes.
what's leading up to that whole endeavor.
And meanwhile, I'm also seeing how they're talking about like that whole social credit score thing they have over there. And
Oh, in
it's-
China?
it's
That's some
coming-
Black Mirror shit.
Yeah,
It is literally
It's coming up
a
in-
Bryce Dallas Howard episode
Oh yeah,
of Black Mirror.
that episode. Yep.
Yeah, it's also from the Orville. That also happened on the Orville. If you watched
Maniacs, saltTier podcast thoroughly endorses Black Mirror
Yeah.
and the Orville.
Yes,
Bless them.
yes, watch
Great shows.
Watch both those shows.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Well, so the thing about this is they Blizzard didn't say anything for a long time, for like almost basically the entire week, and then
Yeah.
just a day or so ago they backpedaled and they're like, oh well, we'll give him his money back, and he
we
Been
reduced
gone for
his
6 months.
ban from 6 months.
and
to
Yeah.
6
and then
months
and
more.
then and then they go out of left field. They're like, China had nothing to do with this decision.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yes.
So you got to talk about
Oh.
what Chinese company is under the knife right now that everybody's bringing up. Like you got to explain
You have to.
more about
You
Blizzard.
have to.
Training, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you guys probably might not know this name. If you're a fan of Riot Games, you probably might have heard their name through the cracks. But
Through
we're-
our podcast.
Yeah, but we're talking about Tencent.
Tencent.
It is
Tencent.
a gigantic Chinese entertainment corporation, not just like video game corporation, but an entertainment
They
corporation.
finance movies.
They finance
I don't know what
movies,
movies you've heard of.
video games.
Yeah.
The thing about Tencent as well is a lot of their high-ranking members are government officials.
It's
Yeah.
it's
So,
basically
they
a
are.
state-run company.
It's a state-run company.
Yep.
So they, just to give you guys an example of this, they own 5% of Blizzard. They own 40% of Epic Games,
Everybody's favorite company.
everyone's favorite
Yeah.
Fortnite,
We'll get to them.
and then the best part is they own Riot Games completely, 100%. They bought Riot Games because they knew the amount of money they would make from it, and they bought it before they bought it before the trend came out that Riot was going to do well. So they made a really good investment, and now look at how much money Riot's making. So that just gives you guys some ideas as to how powerful Tencent is as a company.
Check this out. They've also financed 4 movies. We've all heard of all these movies. They co-financed Men in Black International.
For real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terminator: Dark Fate. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh,
Which
what?
is like another Mr. Rogers
oh,
movie.
okay.
And,
Okay.
and Top Gun Maverick, the new Top Gun
Bro!
movie.
Bro!
Oh my God.
So
Bro.
they're all up in Hollywood too.
See,
Dang.
look at all this pull that they have. Like that's ridiculous to me. But I mean, besides that, a lot of people have been associating the president. Is it the president of China? Is he the prime minister, president? I don't.
I think it was Prime Minister.
They also co-financed Warcraft and Kong Skull Island. And Wonder Woman.
What? So
Wonder
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
More like China Woman now.
China Woman now.
It's President Xi.
Oh, he is president. So
Okay.
a lot of
Xi
people
Jinping.
have been associating President Xi with Winnie the Pooh.
Because they're twins.
So this is where the dichotomy comes in for me, because it's, to be honest, it's kind of racist. I'm not gonna lie. I never liked the Winnie the Pooh President Xi comparison, because it just reminds me of when people compared President Obama to an ape. When people compared,
I wouldn't put that comparison. Winnie the Pooh is
it's
just
the
a bear.
same idea. No, it's a yellow bear. President Xi
Bears are
is
Russian,
Chinese.
though. Bears are Russian, though. That doesn't count.
No,
No.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is the same. You can't tell me that that's not a same thing. If
If it was a black bear, you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
if it was a black bear, no, I would.
But 1,000.
The thing is, like, you can't.
But 1,000 years ago, people weren't calling Chinese people yellow Pooh bears. People were calling black people monkeys like 10,000 years ago.
That's my argument
Yeah,
too.
that's his. Yeah.
The idea of it still being the fact that it's a yellow bear and people are associating racial slurs with President Xi is something that I can't get
Well, maybe he
behind.
shouldn't be the head of a authoritarian like dictatorship.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't give you an excuse to be pseudo racist.
When you harvest, when you arrest like Muslim fugitives and harvest their organs, you kind of lose the right for to be picky about like how people talk to you.
I'm not talking about being how people talk about him. I'm just saying that the platform that
It's
they're using.
specifically him though. Call him whatever you want. That's what I say.
He is obviously an awful person, and China and Russia are in the same area, or same situation, right? Where Putin and President Xi have kind of been in power for God knows how long, and anyone who's opposed them has mysteriously disappeared, or
Got re-educated.
or died somehow by mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm still tripping on 10-cent pictures, man. Venom.
Oh, they got money.
Venom, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
The thing is,
So-
I love Venom, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
Monster Hunter.
So
They're paying for that too.
yeah, so Maniacs.
Wait, Monster Hunter?
Yeah, that Monster Hunter movie coming out with Mila Jovovich.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Oh, wow.
Maniacs, broad strokes here. What we're talking about is Blizzard being in the pocket of Tencent and not wanting to upset the Republic of China. But this is the thing, like 5% is, I feel like if, I don't know a whole lot about business. I obviously am not a business person. I don't have stocks. I don't understand how things are widespread. But I do know that Valve doesn't need like anybody, and they do their own thing.
No,
And,
to do any business over there, you have to partner with a Chinese company.
No, you do have to. I know how that works, but I'm saying it doesn't seem like they're under the boot like Activision Blizzard is, and definitely Riot. And also Epic Games is owned more by Tencent than Blizzard Activision, and they went out and made a point that they
Here's the thing.
wanted to support people.
Yeah. They said that they would never zap a Fortnite player for their political beliefs. Then that's what they say now.
That's what they
That's
say.
what they say.
That's what they say now. That's what they say now. But it's not so much how much of the company, how much equity in your company they have. It's because you're partnered with them. You need them to even be over there. So if they cut ties with you, then you're out of that entire country. So they can own 1% of you. It'd be the same as them owning 99% of you because you want that cut over there.
And just they own 5% of you, but think about how many people use your product in China. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
You mean right now, or
Yeah, I mean, like right now, like Tencent owns 5% of Blizzard,
Uh-huh.
but that doesn't mean that like the public of China is still playing Blizzard games because of Tencent's support with
if they
them
supported
having.
you or not, you couldn't be there to sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm
1% of
saying.
Your games over there.
That's what I'm saying. So having like a Chinese, for lack of a better word, sponsor,
Yeah.
is fundamental for Blizzard. So that's why I feel like they're
Yep.
kind of bending over to the will. And I feel like they're absolutely lying when they're saying that China had nothing to do with their decision.
It had everything to do
It had
with that.
everything to do with it.
If that guy had gone up there and protested anything else, nobody would have said anything. Pretty
And
much.
any words on this
Hey, we're done.
to add on?
You got the whole information down
Oh, okay.
already, too. So he's all informed. So
So I was watching some World Cup footage from Overwatch from last year.
All right.
And I noticed that they don't say Taiwan they address the team as Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about this
Consistently,
Chinese Taipei.
and all of the announcers and commentators have to say Chinese Taipei. And I wanted to check this before I said anything because Capcom is my favorite company. And I went to go look at Oil King. I'm like, oh my god, I wonder if they changed his name to Chinese Taipei to make sure China's not mad at him. 100% he is Li Weilin from Taiwan. And
Blizzard, or not Blizzard, but Riot's been doing the same thing. Right now, there's a team at the World Championship called Hong Kong Attitude. They're a
that's
Taiwanese
right.
team.
Yeah.
And they're called HKA.
HKA.
They won't say Hong Kong.
Yeah, they won't say Hong Kong Attitude, but they're allowed to say HKA.
HKA.
But I mean, you know what that says, but still, like,
Yeah.
And I always thought that was an interesting comparison to see that, like, people are trying to make video games not about politics, but politics are definitely very involved in video games.
And usually the whole debate and the whole controversy with politics and video games is that people don't want that in their games. But now it's like it comes to certain things.
Now you don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is something that you have to face. And the whole crux of the whole thing that's getting everybody so fired up is the fact that American companies are kowtowing, and which is a Cantonese phrase. American companies are kowtowing to a foreign totalitarian dictatorship.
Overlord.
They're censoring information on behalf of a of a communist government, and that is what's freaking everybody out. And that's the whole.
The thing is, like, this is what makes gamers unfortunately so narrow-minded, is the fact that they keep telling people don't involve politics in my video games when, dude, politics will always be involved in your video games no matter what the circumstances are. Especially if the game is foreign and comes from an Asian country, you're damn right there's going to be some politics associated with your games.
I mean, besides corporate politics, because like not really nobody was flexing on Pac-Man and stuff like that. I mean, not all video games have to have the politicians all up in it.
Yeah.
I can see certain ones that do pop up, like your Manhunt, your GTA, stuff like this for sure.
Or even competitive games that are like competitive throughout the world. And you start having esports teams involved, and you start having like money and sponsorships and visas, and
visas and
Sure.
Remember the conversation we had in a couple podcasts ago? We talked about how Japan considers esports to be a form of gambling, and how a lot of their players have to go through this, essentially like get licensed to be esports athletes in Japan. Otherwise, they only get up to 5% of their earnings.
Was this like a serious thing about the gambling commission for Japan?
Yeah, because it was for that Street Fighter player.
That Momochi?
Yes, Momochi, yeah.
And Momochi refused to work with this company that wanted him to be certified so that he can receive his winnings, because
it's
the
like a
government
forced
was
labor
involved.
union. Yeah. It's like a government ran union, which is just that's a hustle.
And meanwhile,
You can call it that way.
And meanwhile, like on the same topic, this is a parallel universe. NBA 2K, NBA Live.
Hey.
Jordan versus Magic versus Bird. There, I made this relevant. The same thing's happening right now in the NBA, as there was a general manager for the Houston Rockets. And keep in mind, the Houston Rockets is by far the most popular team in China because Yao Ming used to play on it, and that's the team that got associated with him. And
where's Jeremy Lin at?
Linning is nowhere. Linning was having like kind of a breakdown because he didn't get picked up this season.
Where was he last year?
He was on the Raptors. They made it to the finals, and dude sat on the bench the entire time.
Okay,
and never
continue with the Rockets. Sorry.
So he won a ring, but didn't do anything. The general manager for the Rockets, he had tweeted a picture, and it was a picture of like let's support the Hong Kong protests and everything. So that went over like a uranium-filled balloon. And he had to backtrack and delete it and apologize, and the owner had to come out and say his views do not reflect those of the Houston Rockets. But pretty much damage is done. They pretty much deleted the Houston Rockets over there. They were by far the most popular team over there. There's 32 NBA teams. In China, there's 31. And they were painting over all the Houston Rockets, everything. This is like a day after that shit happened. And the NBA at first was kind of distancing stuff from it, but the commissioner came out the other day and was like, we're not going to sit here and tell our employees like how to think or how to feel. If they want to comment on something, then they're going to comment on it. Fuck it. That's pretty much what they came out and said. But so parallel in sports, in the biggest sport over there, this is also happening with American companies having to
Isn't
deal
it
with
ridiculous?
That. Yep.
The thing is Taiwan is supporting. Taipei is it's a city, but Taiwan is very supportive of Hong Kong, and China is not taking very kindly to that either.
No.
Yikes.
They already wanted them anyway. Taiwan knows that Hong Kong is their last like free foothold over there on the mainland, and once they go, they're next. So that's
And the thing is, like, it goes without saying too. You know, like how it's very much in the same vein where if you call a Ukrainian person Russian, they get very upset.
yeah.
It's much like if you were to call a Taiwanese person Chinese.
Don't call a Russian or Ukrainian person anything. Like, don't call them anything. Like,
Same thing. Because I grew up in Hawaii, right? You don't call a Hawaiian.
Don't call them anything.
Don't call me. Just call them by their actual name, maybe.
Yes.
Hey, don't call a Wazoo Cougar Husky.
Yeah, I don't
Hey.
care how hot that Russian chick is.
I can call you some dude, or some girl, or something. Some girl.
But for
Okay.
real, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically
So-
what I wanted to bring up.
It's kind of gnarly. I understand that, and different people have been, you know, different YouTube creators have put their 2 cents in on how you want to choose to support the protests if you want, and not to completely condemn all of China completely, because you know
No.
there are nice people in China that
it's
play the
about
game
the
that you
people.
like too. Yeah, it's not about the people.
Sorry, then I'll just want to interject one more time. Is I kind of made a statement about this like on my Facebook a while back when I heard about it. I just want to say, hey, just a reminder to everyone, Tencent is a giant corporation in Japan that's an entertainment company, and they have China. And they have a giant hand in the pot of a lot of video game companies that you might play.
And Hollywood.
Yeah,
And,
but the thing is, like, I didn't say don't support them. I told people to be mindful of what they play and who they support.
So you firing up your League of Legends account anytime soon?
I haven't touched it.
You buying some skins?
I haven't touched League in like 3.5 to even a month.
All right.
I never touch it.
You two out there, Skylar? You listening
No,
to
Skylar's gonna suck that riot dick for as long as he lives.
Skylar's playing right now.
Yeah, he's probably playing right now. He's probably
On
playing
that small laptop.
TFT.
Get the fuck off that shit, Skylar.
And the thing is, like, I'm
Right.
still supporting League of Legends. Like, I'm watching Worlds and like,
No.
I still like it, but like at the same time, like I don't feel very good about it. So
Word.
You feel dirty.
yeah. But anyway, sorry,
It's
Adam.
not coming
No,
off.
we're good. Hit us up on our Facebook, our Instagram, or Twitter, which Goon is very, who's Albert?
Oh, who's Albert?
Who the fuck is Albert guy?
Goon is super active on, and we will talk to you more about it, and, you know, whatever. Just to bring it up, we are SaltTier Podcast. We are the video game podcast where your argument is,
Invalid.
thank you, it's
Invalid.
I was gonna say
Banana hammock.
Yeah, we are Banana Hammock. We are Soundcasting Network's very own podcast. We are at @salt_tierpod on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook, we're obviously SaltTier Podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, Zanga,
Tumblr.
Wait, Sega still exists?
Napster,
Live Journal.
Live Journal,
Classmates.com.
Kazaa. You can download all of our episodes on Kazaa Lite.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. We'll download stuff to you. We'll upload it to our ICQ. Hey, we'll just
you go.
FTP it over.
Yeah.
And we got a new super producer in the house. They call him the Prince of Parmesan.
Yeah, they swapped out halfway.
Emperor Elote.
And the region of Rigatoni, we got Wazoo's very own.
Keith the Boogie!
He was the one saying, "Don't talk to Russians."
Yeah, don't talk to Russians. And he implores you to make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our podcast. Now that we got events going on, which we're about to get into, you can see us in person. We're talking to our sponsor, New Belgium, Live Dangerously. Thanks again, Lauren. And we're talking to them about maybe helping throw these events. We might be able to get you some cool swag. Not booze, because it's at a bar and there's conflicts there. So you can't
Definitely
hand
conflicts
out
of
free
interest.
booze at a bar. But we're going to figure out something, because when we went and met up with Lauren over at PAX, you know, I got there, I got wooden nickels, we got beer koozies and all this fun stuff, and it was awesome. Took good care of the SaltTier Podcast, and I felt loved. Hashtag live dangerously.
Hashtag
Nice.
live dangerously.
So, if you're just tuning in just now, we have Serpent in town. Woo! For the podcast. First time podcaster.
First time.
First time podcast.
time.
Running streams for years, and then the first time you've been on a podcast. It's freaking exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. This is like the very first time I ever done this too. I always thought about joining in the radio show business, but I was really kind of nervous to speak up my own opinion. But now I can actually speak about my own opinion.
Well, yeah, this is a pretty loose one. There's booze and there's cussing, so that makes things a little easier for
And
people.
There's chocolate caramel.
There's
crackers.
chocolate caramel crackers.
Crackers, right
That's
in
one
front
of the
you.
things that made it a little looser because at first when we were talking to Von Shady, who you'll meet eventually, we were talking about, oh, is this going to be like a Twitch thing? And then we started like drinking more and we're like, nope, it's not what we're about, but we're going to loosen up and have fun. And you're not supposed to drink on Twitch, partners, right? They don't drink on. So we're like, no, we're not even going to go that route. Screw it. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about what we got. And then we got New Belgium supporting us, and we got some other stuff in the wings. We gotta talk.
You can get creative though.
I know. We gotta. Is this all coffee cups?
Yep. Yeah,
We gotta talk to another castle. I don't know how they're not bumping us yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I hit up my old manager there.
Try again. Okay, so thanks for joining us. This is episode 46, saltTier Podcast. We're going into our main other topic, and I'm going to kick this over to Goon and Serpent, and we're going to talk about the beautiful, inaugural.
Inaugurable.
The very first. The very first bonus round.
Bonus round.
Yeah, a bonus round Seattle. That's saltTier doing a collaboration with Craving Amazing and Trinity Nightclub and Soundcasting Network through a video game tournament this past Saturday, and we're going to tell you all about it.
All right, guys. So we've been planning this a little bit for almost it's probably been almost a year. We were debating what games to do and what to do at that given point in time, and we finally decided to do bonus round, which is our very first game tournament. Our soft opening was just last Saturday on the 12th.
Look good.
It looked real good.
Was real good.
It was streamlined very well. We actually
Serpent came in clutch.
Yeah, there weren't any hiccups at all. Like
hiccups.
we didn't really have any stream. Like, our stream system wasn't ready at the time, so I ended up hitting up Serpent. It was probably like the day after CEO Taco, which was like two to 3 weeks before our event started, and asked him.
It was like at least a week. A week
and I asked him if he was interested in doing it because we weren't going to have our stream system up in that time, and he came in clutch for us. So thank you so much to Serpent for coming out, getting the stream set up. Everything went really smoothly. There were no hiccups. We were able to get the competition going and finished earlier than I thought we would.
Yeah. About 14 people.
About a good 14 people, and then a couple people came and watched. So it was a good soft opening just to see if we were capable of doing so, and we're more than capable of having an event like this continue. So our next event is scheduled to be Tekken. The dates will be announced probably sometime next week in the next podcast.
Yeah, I'm already working on graphics.
Yeah, so we Trinity has been really great to us, and they helped us out a lot with setting up as well as getting the projector going.
Yeah, that place is literally lit.
The venue space was great. Serpent had like a lot of space to get set up and do what he needed.
Plenty of space. It's just one of my favorite areas for venues. Like plenty of space to work around what setups it has to put onto without anything in the way. Nothing, no trips, no hiccups going on, no accidents. It's just perfect space.
Yeah, because you also had to set up not only your stream system but the commentary section right next to you. Is that right? So he had quite a bit of space to work, and it was directly behind the projector too, so it wasn't in the way of any players, and like didn't object anything. So that was really great. Like we were able to set up like 4 stations, and they are actually 5 stations towards the end. And by the time we were halfway through the tournament, 2 or 3 weren't being used. So it shows that we can handle one anime game event really well. So I think if we were to do like a 2 or 3 anime game event,
oh, you mean what we're doing in December?
Yeah. Details to be announced. That's a little far out right now, but we'll focus on Tekken for next month.
Yeah, but I think we'll try Tekken first. How that goes. I mean, you want to go for like 32 cap or something? I mean,
yeah, we're trying to go over 30. If we do more than 32, it really just depends. If we're doing more than 32, then we gotta extend some time or start earlier. But we'll see.
We can start earlier, or we need some assistance from the Seattle Tekken community.
Yeah, I think we can get. Especially because we're projecting towards the end of November. We don't have a solid date, so I don't want to tell you guys over the air right now. But we think that we can draw in quite a big crowd because the Tekken scene throughout Portland to Olympia to here is massive. Yeah. So I look forward to it. I already got some ins with the people in the Tekken community, so we're going to draw some people in. And then we expect people to just come, chill, and hang out, and we hope you guys do the same. We're going to be posting some ads and like videography of stuff that we took there, and we're parading big money. We want you guys to come out and play, and we mean business, and we first place for Eunice over this weekend was 175 big ones, like just for getting.
Yo,
first
it was
place in the
175.
175
I
for
thought it
first
was
place,
125. That's good.
and then 75 for second and 50 for third.
That's tight.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
we're guaranteeing pots. It's not going to be a pot percentage, which I know a lot of fighting game events usually do, just to cut costs. But we just want to show people that like we want to up the ante. We want to make people be at their A game when they come in.
So I talked to Rurik, who got third. Oh, yeah, who got
He did get
third at the
third.
last tournament. And he said when he went down to a Portland tournament, he got first place, and his prize was 50.
Yep.
That's
And then-
that's amazing.
Yeah,
First
and
place.
but first place is amazing. But then our very first tournament we threw, third place got him 50, and he was like, "I'm happy with that." And then of course, because I am the personality that I am, I was going to congratulate him. Like, let me buy you a drink. And we went over to the bar next door because Trinity's cool like that. And I bought a beverage. No one took us up on our spectator challenge.
Yeah, nobody did. Nobody did at all. We were offering free venue fee for anybody that would just come and ask us if they couldn't get in or had some issues. We would just make them do some kind of random mini game with us. Probably play me in a match of units, and if you win, you get your entry fee waived. But nobody came and offered and took us up on our offer. So if you guys are interested, the offer still stands. Come next month, up to 3 people on my end. So if
Yeah,
you're
I'll pay
looking
for.
to get.
I'll pay for 4. What is that? $20? $5 spectator fee?
Yeah, $5. Yep. If you're thinking of competing, at that point you just gotta pay $10. But we'll pay $5 for you. That's how much we care.
15.
Yeah, it's 15. So it's $5 for the venue and then $10 for the registration.
Oh, got it.
Oh.
Word.
So all in all, I think bonus round went very well, and with the help of Serpent and a lot of the community members, we managed to get it streamlined
Yep.
very impressively well.
And also, good old Goon P&W posted that grand finals video. That thing is at
Yeah.
1.2 thousand views already.
Is it already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,200 views and growing.
On Facebook?
It's been
Oh,
Twitter.
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
It's
Yeah,
been retweeted 30 times.
And it has like 90 likes.
90
Where's London?
90 likes. It's incredible.
No, London already pushed it.
So the greatest thing about that is I felt like with the amount of money that was on the line, the things just got much more intense because in the grand finals match, not only was the bracket reset, but it went down to all 5 games down to the very last match point for both players, with one player having about 5% health or less to
Oh,
a
we put the
full
plus-
health character, and making the comeback from that was. I wanted no other way for bonus
It
round
took-
to end.
It took
It is
one-
a hype video.
It took one good block, and Aki made that one last block count and,
Yep.
and try to get the comeback. It made Zombie.
He made a big comeback, and then he mixed Zombie like a blender, bro.
Let me tell you something about Zombie Boo. That guy is really talented. Like, he'll get good. Like, we played one game, he'd be already good. Like, he was already good in Dragon Ball and BP Tag. We got into BBCF. He's already like in the top 24 at CO Top, and he outplaced me in 13th, which is that was actually amazing. Even though his first opponent kind of skipped out because he has to go to the air flight, so we couldn't make it. But still, 13th place. That's pretty dang good.
That's very impressive.
That's very impressive.
So
I was really proud
Because he was only playing Eunice seriously for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then he got second place at this event. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's bonus round in a nutshell. I'm really glad and thankful for Serpent coming down and hanging out with us today.
And the scene coming down.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
many people came.
Yeah, so many people came and supported bonus round, and
Our
forever-
commentators, name drop, please.
Oh, and our commentators, especially our ending commentators for grand finals, which is Bossman
Okay.
Pojo and Kumo Jockey. Thank you very much to those guys. They brought the hype. They made it fun. And I couldn't have asked for a better community. So thank you guys so much for coming to bonus round, hanging out with us. We hope bonus round becomes more than just a small event. And we're doing this all for you guys. Just to remind everyone, we literally make $0. We just do this because we love you guys.
yeah.
Like,
We do get free beer, so I mean,
yeah. It's like,
so I'm gonna rush this because Uncle Derek's gonna be Uncle Derek, and we're gonna go to these beautiful closing statements. And I'm gonna start with our esteemed guest, Serpent. closing statements on things we talked about and things that you want to tell the maniacs out there about gaming in general.
Shout outs or
Yeah,
anything.
shout out to you,
And-
shout out to you guys for bringing me over here. Get a chance to talk about all these topics. There's grand finals in general, and then thanks to Goon for making this bonus round happen. I hope the future will go really well. I'll continue to support PNW FGC. As long as there's a place available where I can just stream tournaments when I have the time, like weekends are like the best bet I can go for too. Like I have like 48-hour job weekly, and it's kind of rough, but I always try to pull myself to make it through. So shout out to you guys. It's been quite an honor to come here to your podcast. It's pretty lit.
Yeah, I'm happy. We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
we're
I think-
definitely gonna-
And can you introduce the person to your right?
Oh,
Oh, never mind. I'll just do it.
what's
And
up?
to Serpent's right, we have
You got the save rings.
Hey,
Dot.
dot. You got to say all of it like Trop Call Quest.
Yup. Thanks for tuning into the show. Thanks for coming out and support for a bonus round. I didn't make it, but you will see me at one. Yeah, just go ahead and play the games you're gonna play. Like we always talk about on the show, vote with your wallets. You know, like if you support something, if you don't support something, like all that counts. Like they do pay attention. You might not think your little $7 or your $60 or whatever for your game is counting towards something, but it does. So if you see something that you like and you want to support it, pay for it. If you see something that you're like not a fan of, don't support it. It's just that simple. And just gotta pay attention to the world around you. Pay attention to people that are struggling around you. Just be nice to each other. So that's all I got.
Good shit.
And across the way.
Hey guys, once again, it's Goon PNW. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, thank you so much for supporting us and what we do. Anything we do, we just do it out of love for the community. So with that being said, go to your locals, meet new people, play games that you never thought you would play, and you'll make some friends that you'll have for life. So keep supporting us, keep supporting Bonus Round. We love to see you guys. The more you support us, the more great things we can do with that event and hopefully transform it into something much bigger. That is our end game goal. We have really high ambitions for this project. So, and we're putting blood, sweat, and tears into this. So we hope you guys love it and appreciate it just as much as we do. And I look forward to growing with everyone in the community here and look forward to seeing where this journey takes us.
All right, hopefully we can say one more thing about
Go for it.
for the community for GameWorks. I mean, if you guys are new to the scene and you know what kind of game you're playing, always come by the game with GameWorks. You always GameWorks always hosting venue free casuals from 5:30 to 10:30. Same goes to Thursdays as well from 7 to 12:30. They're always have to have casuals. Don't be scared about your play skill that you're not good enough. You're doing pretty poorly. We're always here to learn. We're always here to help you work together. That's what the community is all about. Come together, help each other out, help them grow, get better, see what your faults. I always carry footage around here. I always ask people around us to come by and come down to the table to play on stream. Look at your footage, what you can improve onto. So don't be scared to come up and play some games too.
Yep.
And like everyone else, I'm bad. Some people are bad too. Some people are worse than me or whatnot. I mean, that's kind of a human quality, a human quality of failure.
We'll help you get better.
Yep, we're all in this together. Always help to get better.
Yep. So thank you guys so much. With Loud and Brown, what do you have to say?
This is Loud and Brown. At Loud and Brown, Instagram and Twitter. I am Gross Def on PS4, 99%. And then Steam happens sometimes when we throw parties. Hey, we sparked that thing up during PAX. I forget what we played, but we played for a little bit and whatever.
Tricky Towers.
No, Tricky Towers is on my PS4. Tricky Towers! Anyway, Maniacs, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. I keep thinking that people don't really watch this, and I'll look at the views or the listens across media, and I'll talk to friends and coworkers, and they're like, hey, that was a funny topic last time. I'm like, you listen to my podcast? They're like, yeah. You had me in business cards. You never chime in.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you played games.
And a lot of the things too is people they don't watch it as live. They'll watch it the day after.
Yeah.
So that stuff happens all the time. So thank you for being part of it.
Yeah.
It really
Also-
means a lot to us. It really does. It makes us have more fun knowing that there are people listening. It's fun that we could bring in people from our communities into here. And specifically, I like how melanated this damn podcast is. Thank you very much.
Get
It's
out of
so
here,
sweet. Yeah.
Wait.
Don't worry, I'll hold like a lot of retweets on Twitter. I'll talk to people. I got like a Fight Night Discord that will look into this podcast as well too. I hope we can get you like more views as you wanted.
Nice.
No, it's going to be great. I am so thankful to have Soundcasting Network like help do this. I still remember like over 2 years ago when I came in, I was like, this is some kind of freaking crazy thing. I don't want to be in somebody's basement doing a podcast, and I show up to here, I'm like, oh, it's like a podcast studio.
It's been a minute, man.
It has been a minute.
We've been at it. So I want to thank all of you maniacs. Remember to like, follow, subscribe. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play. It's on Spotify. It's on SoundCloud.
It's on Stitcher.
It's on Stitcher.
On Soundcasting Network.
And you know what? It's on Soundcasting Network, and New Belgium watches it. Thank you. Hashtag live dangerously. Thank you, Lauren.
It's on your Palm Pilot.
Yeah, it's on your Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
And Maniacs, this has been a production of the Soundcasting Network. Thank you kindly.
Have a good night.
Snap.
Or good morning.
All right, we'll go morning.